Hello friends, in this video we will learn about the important interview questions or frequently asked question on Splunk in the interview for information security analyst or Soc analyst or network security engineer. So let us discuss some of the important question. So at the same time I'm preparing a material here. I will share this particular document in the description so that you can use it and for review or for rehearsals or for preparation you can use this document. So one of the most basic question that will be asked in the interview is what is Splunk? So the answer for this is you need to give a very Splunk is a software platform that allows users to analyze machine generated data, that is data from hardware devices, networks, servers, IoT devices, etc. Splunk is widely used for searching, visualizing, monitoring, and reporting enterprise data. It processes and analyzes machine data and converts it into powerful operational intelligence by offering real-time insights into the data through accurate visualizations. So while my speech to text you may come across some spelling mistakes and all, so that you can remove and use it. So in the meanwhile I will also be removing this. Name the, name the common ports or common port numbers used by Splunk. The common port numbers for Splunk are Splunk Web Port 8000, Splunk Management Port 8089, Splunk Network Port 514, Splunk Index Replication Port 8080, Splunk Indexing Port 9997, KV Store 8191. Name the components of Splunk architecture. The Splunk architecture is made of following components. Search head. It provides graphical user interface for searching. Indexer. It indexes machine data. Forwarder. It forwards logs to the indexer. Deployment server. Deployment server. It manages the Splunk components in a distributed environment and distributes configuration applications. What are different types of Splunk dashboards? There are three different kinds of Splunk dashboards. Real-time dashboards, dynamic form-based dashboards, dashboards for scheduled reports. Name the types of search modes supported in Splunk. Splunk supports three types of dashboards, namely fast mode, fast mode, smart mode, verbose mode. Name the different kinds of Splunk forwarders. There are two types of Splunk forwarders. Universal forwarder. It is a lightweight Splunk agent installed on a non-Splunk system to gather data locally, and it cannot parse or index data. Heavy forwarder. It is a heavyweight Splunk agent with advanced functionalities, including parsing and indexing capabilities, and it is used for filtering data. What is a summary index in Splunk? In Splunk, the summary index refers to the default Splunk index that stores data resulting from scheduled searches over time. Essentially, it is the index that Splunk Enterprise uses if a user does not specify or indicate another one. The most significant advantage of the summary index is that it allows you to retain the analytics and reports even after your data has aged. What is the purpose of Splunk DB Connect? Splunk DB Connect is a generic SQL database plugin designed for Splunk. It enables users to integrate database information with Splunk queries and reports seamlessly. What is the function of Splunk Indexer? Very important question. As the name suggests, the Splunk Indexer creates and manages indexes. It has two core functions: to index raw data into an index and to search and manage the index data. What are the benefits of feeding data into a Splunk instance through Splunk forwarders? If you feed the data into a Splunk instance via Splunk forwarders, you can reap three significant benefits: TCP connection, bandwidth throttling, and an encrypted SSL connection to transfer data from a forwarder to an indexer. Splunk's architecture is such that the data forwarded to the indexer is load balanced by default. Even if one indexer goes down due to some reason, the data can reroute itself via another indexer instance quickly. Furthermore, Splunk forwarders cache the events locally before forwarding it, thereby creating a temporary backup of the data. What are buckets? Explain Splunk bucket lifecycle. Very important question. Buckets are directories that store the index data in the Splunk. So, it is a physical directory that chronicles the events of a specific period. A bucket undergoes several stages of transformation over time. They are: hot. A hot bucket comprises of newly indexed data and hence it is open for writing and new addition. An index can have one or more hot buckets. Warm. A warm bucket contains the data that is rolled out from a hot bucket. Cold. A cold bucket has the data that is rolled out from a warm bucket. Frozen. A frozen bucket contains the data rolled out from a cold bucket. The Splunk indexer deletes the frozen data by default. However, there is an option to archive it. An important thing to remember here is that frozen data is not searchable. What is the command to stop and start Splunk service? The command to start Splunk service is /Splunk start. It is /Splunk start. And the command to stop the service is Splunk stop. What is importance of license master in Splunk? In Splunk, the license master ensures that right amount of data gets indexed. Since the Splunk license is based on data volume that reaches the platform within a 24-hour window, the license master ensures that your Splunk environment stays within the constraints of the purchased volume. What happens if the license master is unreachable? If ever the license master is unreachable, a user cannot search the data. However, this will not affect the data flowing into the indexer. Data will continue to flow in the Splunk deployment and the indexers will index the data. But the top of the search head will display a warning message that the user has exceeded the indexing volume. In this case, they must either reduce the amount of data flowing in or must purchase additional capacity of the Splunk license. What is Splunk app? A Splunk app is a container or a directory of configurations, searches, dashboards, etc. in a Splunk. Define source type in Splunk. Source type refers to the default field that is used to identify the data structure of an incoming event. Source type should be set at the forwarder level of the indexer extraction to help identify different data formats. It determines how Splunk Enterprise formats the data during the indexing process. This being the case, you must ensure to assign the correct source type to your data. To make data searching even easier, you should provide accurate timestamps and even breaks to the index data. What purpose does the time zone property serve in the Splunk? What purpose does the time zone property serve in Splunk? In Splunk, time zone is crucial for searching for events from a security or fraud perspective. Splunk sets the default time zone for you from your browser settings. The browser further picks up the current time zone from the machine you are using. So if you search for any event with the wrong time zone, you will not find anything relevant for that search. The time zone becomes extremely important when you are searching and correlating data pouring in from different and multiple sources. What is a heavy forwarder? Very important question. We can use a heavy forwarder in scenarios where one level of data processing happens at the source itself before forwarding data into the indexer. Heavy forwarder typically does parsing, indexing at the source, and also intelligently routes the data to the indexer, saving on bandwidth and storage space. So when a heavy forwarder parses the data, the indexer only needs to handle the indexing segment. What are different versions of Splunk? Splunk is available in three versions. Splunk Lite, which is a free version. Splunk Enterprise, a paid version. Splunk Cloud, provided as service with subscription pricing. Why is the lookup command used? And what are the difference between input lookup and output lookup command? In Splunk, lookup commands are used when you want to receive specific fields from an external file. For example, a Python-based script or a CSV file to obtain a value of an event. It helps narrow the search results by referencing the fields in an external CSV file that matches fields in the event data. The input lookup command is used when you want to take an input. For instance, command can take the product price or product name as input and then match it with an internal field such as product ID. On the contrary, the output lookup command is used to produce an output from an existing field list. How does Splunk avoid duplicate indexing of logs? The Splunk indexer keeps track of all the indexed events in a directory. The fish buckets directory that contains seek pointers and CRCs for all the files being indexed presently. So if there is any seek pointer or CRC that has been already read, Splunk will point it out. What is the configuration file's precedence in Splunk? The precedence of configuration files in Splunk is as follows. System local directory has got highest priority. App local directory comes next. App default directories. System default directory has got lowest priority. What is the function of Alert Manager? The Alert Manager adds workflow to Splunk. The purpose of Alert Manager is to provide a common app with a dashboard to search for alerts or events. What is the need for Splunk Alert? Specify the types of options you get while setting up Splunk alerts. Splunk alerts help notify users of any erroneous condition in their systems. For instance, a user can set up alerts for email notification to be sent to the admin in case there are more than 3 failed login attempts within 24 hours. The different options you get while setting up alerts include: you can create webhook. This will allow you to write HipChat or GitHub. You can write an email to a group of machines containing your subject, priorities, and the body of your email. You can add results in CSV or PDF formats or in line with the body of the message to help the recipient understand the location and condition of the alert that has been triggered and what actions have been taken for the same. You can create tickets and throttle alerts based on specific conditions such as the machine name or IP address. These alerts can be controlled from the alert window. Differentiate between Splunk SDK and Splunk framework. Splunk SDKs are primarily designed to help users develop applications from scratch. They do not require Splunk Web or any other component from the Splunk app framework to function. Splunk SDKs are separately licensed from Splunk. As opposed to this, the Splunk app framework rests within the Splunk web server. It allows users to customize the Splunk web UI that accompanies the product. Although it lets you develop Splunk applications, you have to do so by using the Splunk web server. Briefly explain Splunk architecture. Splunk gathers logs by monitoring files, detecting file changes, listening on ports, or running scripts to collect log data, and all these are carried out by Splunk Forwarder. The indexing mechanism, composed of one or more indexers, processes the data or may receive the data pre-processed by forwarders. The deployment server manages indexers and search heads, configuration and policies across entire Splunk deployment. User accesses and controls are applied at the indexer level. Each indexer can be used for a different data store which may have different user permissions. The search head is used to provide on-demand search functionality and also powers scheduled searches initiated by automatic reports. The user can define scheduling, reporting, and knowledge objects to schedule searches and create alerts. Data can be accessed from the UI, the Splunk CLI, or APIs integrating with numerous external systems. What are disadvantages of using Splunk? Important question. Some disadvantages of using Splunk tool are: Splunk can prove expensive for large data volumes. Dashboards are functional but not as effective as some other monitoring tools. Its learning curve is stiff, and you need Splunk training as it's a multi-tier architecture, so you need to spend lots of time to learn this tool. Searches are difficult to understand, especially regular expressions and search syntax. So these are the important 25 questions that can be asked in an interview and are frequently asked questions in the interviews. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye bye.